What is good, YouTube? It is your boy Sheets from Philly, and welcome back to another video. Today we are talking about Brand New Day, the new Spider-Man film that just released, I would say about like Friday, if I had to guess. But we are on this movie. I have some good thoughts, I have a couple bad thoughts, but mainly good thoughts, I would say. I'd say it's still a pretty good movie. A bit overrated, in my opinion, but let's get into that real quick. And before we get into the non-spoilers and the spoilers, if you're liking the content, please like and subscribe and comment how you feel about this movie. I'd really appreciate if you guys help gauge if this is good content or not. And with that out of the way, let's get into it. Let's go, baby. So I'm going to start off this review with some non-spoilery thoughts before we get into the spoiler territory. So I'll leave a link, I'll leave a timestamp for when we get to spoiler territory if you don't want to hear the non-spoilery stuff. But let's get into it real quick. So to start off, I would say this is probably Tom Holland's best work as Spider-Man. And I think it's unanimous at this point, because Far From Home, No Way Home, and Homecoming, while they're all good movies, this was Tom Holland's, I would say, first great film, right? I think this is his first great work as Spider-Man. He knows the role at this point, and I think he nails the role at this point. The villain's probably one of the best in the series, probably the best in the Tom Holland series, I would say. And then I think the character, I thought the performances of everyone, I thought pretty good performances all around. A lot of people have been mentioning the plot, how the plot's been a little messy. I thought the plot was fine. It was straightforward. I thought it was straightforward. And there weren't, people are saying a lot of things going on. There's not as bad as Spider-Man 3. It's not as bad as something like The Amazing Spider-Man 2. I thought it was enough to where it didn't get boring, and it made sense. I like the surprises, I like the twists, I thought they're pretty good. The action scene, I would say, probably the best in the series too. And then, my only real problem with the film comes with I would say just the emotional scenes in the moment just didn't really hit for me. And I thought the villain, while the villain was great on paper, they were kind of, what's the word? Underbaked, I guess? Like, you'll realize in the movie that they feel a little, like, underbaked. I forgot to mention, but there's going to be like some character inconsistencies. I'm probably going to explain that in the spoiler territory, since I can't really explain without spoiling the plot. Sorry is not sorry. But overall, it's a really good movie. I would say it's Tom Holland's best work. And now, we're going to get on to the spoiler stuff. So if you want to leave right now before I get into spoiler territory. The spoilers. Honestly, I think Peter Parker, like, I understand why he was so smart, but was he really that smart so he can understand, like, he can make all this, like, RNA, like, equipment? Like, I know Spider-Man is supposed to be, like, one of the smartest people in the universe, but, like, damn, really? And then, honestly, I think Sadie Sink's performance as, Jean Grey, fantastic. Other than the fact, I would say, for the twist, I would say, towards the end, I thought it was, that's what I thought was a little underbaked. I didn't really think the entire movie was underbaked. I didn't think her character or her threat as a character is underbaked. I thought her backstory was a bit underbaked, but it was enough to realize, it was enough to be like, oh, she's just a lost, confused girl who just lost her sister, and she doesn't know what to do, and she doesn't believe anyone can believe in her. And then Peter Parker comes in and is just like, hey, I believe in you. And then she went into his mind, got talked with her mom, and then done. And then she's not even, like, on his side. She's just, like, looking for herself. And honestly, that, to me, felt a bit underbaked. They didn't want to pad out the runtime to give us, like, a lot more. But honestly, that's what I felt like when I meant the emotional scenes didn't really hit. Because that was supposed to be the big emotional crutch for the film. And I didn't really feel that with her. But other than that, I thought Sadie Sink, her as a threat, it feels scary. Like, really scary. As, like, a teenage girl who doesn't know what to do, and has a threatening power. It's scary. I would say, Sadie Sink, you did a great job. Oh my god. Well, let's get to the other emotional scene, where MJ doesn't realize that Peter is Peter, right? How? Ned realized from a damn handshake that was Peter. How do you not know that the love of your life came to save you, and you don't remember a single thing about him? That makes no sense. How? No, that just doesn't make sense to me. And I know that moment, like, I heard people in the theater were screaming, oh no, he saw the letter. Oh my god, who cares? And then that was all good and all. I understand the purpose of it, like as a plot device. Oh, MJ is not gonna love Peter, so Peter's gonna crash out a little. But yeah, it was like, it was weird. The other thing I think people have been saying about the plot being messy is this whole, like, he's turning more into a spider than a man, so maybe the man spider instead of Spider-Man. But honestly, I thought that was really cool. I thought when his senses got overloading, I can feel when his senses overload. And I feel like that's a great touch. Just makes me relate to his, like, struggle as becoming more a spider a lot more. And the fact with his inhibitor. Yeah, oh, I can't say that. His inhibitor. Yeah, the inhibitor part. I thought it was pretty interesting. Pretty, like, especially with Jean Grey. Like, I thought that all connected towards the end. I didn't think it was, like, super, like, cliche or out of. I thought it connected pretty well. What do I think the flaws are in this movie? I liked Hull's performance. I didn't love his performance. There's just a lot of things that I didn't love. You know what I mean? It's just a lot of like, oh, are we comparing this to the best Spider-Man films of all time? I don't think it's top 3. I think the two Spider-Verse and Spider-Man 2 are better. I still think it's a great movie. And then what else do I want to talk? I think the action scenes are fantastic. My favorite is the Hulk scene. Oh my god, the Hulk Spider-Man scene, fantastic. And when I saw the hand in the original trailer, I was like, when is he gonna fight the hand? They're on our side. And I'm like, oh, he's gonna portray them and save Jean. Oh, this is making sense. See, like I'm telling you, the movie makes more sense the more you watch it. You know what I mean? It's not a really messy plot. I think the plot's also good. It's not like anything is like stupid. It's not like you have to like. I think the first half was kind of not the first half, like the first quarter. Mainly because I just wasn't a fan of the cop. I also wasn't a fan of just that entire relationship. I understand Spider-Man wants to be alone, and that was his struggle. That was his cope. He was just using the police and the crime as a cope so he can like be Spider-Man, continue being Spider-Man. Yeah, I just wasn't as invested into the first quarter as I wish I was. Other than that, I loved it. I thought it was a fantastic film. Not a 10 out of 10. Not even close to the best live action. No, it's close. I would say it's close. This is one of those movies where I do need to rewatch it again, just to see if it was like a lot of bias, since recency bias. So my final ratings for this film, I think it had pretty good characters overall. Some of the best action scenes. I would say a good villain on paper and threatening wise, pretty good villain. But my only real, like, the sound effects were also pretty good, the sound design, all that, yep. And my only real problem with it, emotional scenes didn't hit as hard as I wish they did. And while Jean Grey was a really good villain, like, threatening-wise, I was not a huge fan of her backstory, and I just felt a little underbaked. And that's about it. So I would give it about, like, a 9 out of 10. I thought it was a pretty good film. Not my favorite live-action Spider-Man. That still goes to Spider-Man 2. And still not in the top 3, but still pretty good film overall. And that's about it for me. If you liked the video, please like and subscribe. Again, I know I'm going to say it over and over again. I really want to reach 250 subscribers by the end of this year, and I would really appreciate if you guys like and subscribe and just told everyone about this. So, other than that, I shall see you later, and deuces. I'll see y'all. Thank you.